Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 3 between Fredinhiovic and Splay in the group stage of the Farmers League. And this matchup is played on Nomad between Fredinhiovic in the blue, who is the Saracens, versus Splay in the pink, which is actually Lily Vanilli's color. And she's really upset that Splay lamed her color. But oh, look at this, already some early action, but due to the stupid new Nomad rules, basically Splay cannot do anything against this, because you cannot build or attack within this rectangle or the square that goes around your town center. So early advantage here for Fredinhiovic, who gets his town center up earlier than Splay, although I guess it's not too much. And at the same time, Splay I think was able to maybe get away with this pig over here. At the same time, Splay already having the dog out, now going for the house, which I don't like because the Malians have been changed a little bit, so he cannot go for the fishing ship right away. So actually I would have loved for him to collect some fish in the meantime, but it's not that bad. So ideally what you do is you retask one of those villages to just drop down a house right here or right here after your town center is being built, because you have enough time to finish the house before your first village is created, and that means you just have a little bit more food to play with. Now both players very close with each other. Fredinhiovic so Splay knows where Fredinhiovic is, and Fredinhiovic might know where Splay is, but he doesn't quite see it. But I think he will realize soon where Splay is. He must know that Splay is close because of the villager fight in the beginning. Now let's see what these players will be doing. Splay already bringing in this boar over here, very nicely done. Not even taking a hit yet. Now finally taking a hit, blocking it a little bit here, shooting it with the town center, and let's see how this works out. The boar running around the long way, not ideal, but overall pretty nicely done. Fredinhiovic, on the other hand, he is relying on the ibex so far, which are very close. So there's another ibex, and Freddy might just shoot this, and then also this ibex seems to be based around this location, and I think Fredinhiovic should also shoot this one maybe. No, stopping the ibex with the house, but that was not really intentional. Also bringing in a boar is Fredinhiovic, but look at this, some laming action happening here by Fredinhiovic. He is killing the boar of Splay but there's one little mistake that he's doing, and that is not walling in the carcass, because Splay could still get a surprising amount of food from this because it's close to his town center. Fredinhiovic also having lots and lots of pigs, so very nice start for him for sure. If you look at the villages, also Fredinhiovic slightly ahead of Splay which is surprising because I think the Malians are actually the better civilization on Nomad. But Splay seems to be a little bit rusty these days, not quite familiar with the optimal build orders, and I think now he wants to go for some kind of laming, but this is a little bit ballsy, I have to say. Also quite ineffective because it's in the range of the town center, and I think the town center can just shoot this down easily. You see there's 2 volleys and the gate is down, so that was even more damage than I expected. So walling in the range of the TC, not great. However, it actually forces Fredinhiovic for some idle time, I believe, although his house was on the way. But every little bit counts here, and if you can force a reaction out of your opponent, that's always a win. Fredinhiovic now on 2 fishing ships against 1, and the advantage of Freddy is just growing. What is Splay doing? He's just not producing. Now finally he's producing villages, but now he's housed as well, and this is just horrible play here by Splay What is he doing? He's now going, maybe he wants to go for a mill over here, which would make sense because there's the boar here and also the ibex are also here. Now Freddy going for some laming, which I think makes sense because you deny the stone from your opponent, so there's no tower rush maybe and no castle drop. Although there's still one stone over here available and also more stone in the way in the back. And I think it's maybe even harder for Frediniovic to get an easy stone. I mean, this one is available, but this one can be easily contested by Splay Buzzer, who is still behind by 2 villagers. So nice start there by Frediniovic. And if he is able to abuse the market, I think he can just be up to Castle Age a little bit earlier based on this early advantage and then go from there. But let's see what Splay Buzzer is having in store for us. We see more laming by Frediniovic, always super annoying, but there is still more and probably better options in terms of resources here for Splay Buzzer. I mean, this gold is very nicely accessible. However, if Frediniovic goes up and goes for some kind of tower rush and denies the gold, then suddenly this gold is unavailable, and then okay, we still have this gold, but the options are becoming limited. Frediniovic now having a mill here on the berries, which is very nicely done. And I think Splay Buzzer just does not have that much on food overall. I mean, he has a little bit on food, he has the fishing ship, so he probably will be able to go up to the feudal age, but I'm not sure if he will be able to pull off a nice fast castle age, which is the dominant strategy on Nomad. So typically players go for a extended dark age into fast castle with very limited feudal age aggression. However, since both players are so close, that might actually be not the case, because you can easily go for some towers within the range of your own town center. So this is especially effective for Splay Buzzer, who could just place a tower here and shoot down the villages on the wood line here for Frediniovic. So actually a fast feudal or a fast-ish feudal might actually make sense here, and Splay Buzzer is on the way up, but Frediniovic is also on the way up, so both players up at roughly the same time and with the same amount of villagers, although I think I give a slight advantage there to Frediniovic. And for Splay Buzzer now also going for gold, and you see that the walling wasn't too successful here, the laming wasn't really successful because the gold here still accessible. However, the stone might be a bigger problem in the long run, although I think it is still accessible right here. Although it's inefficient, sometimes still this is enough because you maybe only have 2 or 3 villagers on stone anyways. Now a lot on wood here by Splay Buzzer, who now goes for a second dock. Let's see if he knows where the dock of Freddy is. No, he does not know that, but I think he can kind of guess where it is based on the movement of the fishing ship if he saw it. Now Frediniovic being extra annoying, walling in the extra gold here in the back, and now it becomes tricky for Splay Buzzer, but Splay Buzzer is going exactly for what I said by plonking down a very nice watchtower here in the front, in the face of Fredinovic's villages. He just needs to make sure that he walls it off a little bit, and then this is actually very good aggression here. Yes, Frediniovic can relocate his villages, however, it's also still nice to deny this wood line and also put some pressure on the town center, which limits also farming space here for Frediniovic, and we all know that Frediniovic loves to go for farming. But we have some counter aggression here by Frediniovic, who is going for galleys, but Splay Buzzer, I think, is quick enough. He has a fire galley already out, and fire galleys pretty good against galleys, and so this first galley will be pushed away, and the second one will also be pushed away by this fire galley. Very nicely done here by Splay Buzzer. Also nicely done to not commit too much here. He needs to wait for reinforcements. So nicely done. Now finally this wall-in villager is being found by Splay Buzzer, and he is attacking her violently with his villager. And so this walling in attempt will be stopped, but let's look at the resources of the players. Neither player able to go up to a fast castle. Frediniovic now going for the galleys. Of course, the Saracens have better galleys in that their galleys attack 25% faster, So in a head-on battle, the Saracens win. But if Splay Buzzer just masses enough fire galleys, I think he could still win this, because it just takes a lot of micromanagement from the galley player to overcome this. Also, he needs fletching for the extra range and the extra damage. And some nice walling in here by Fredinhiovic, some nice wall placement. And Splay Buzzer lost the scent of her, and she can now escape. Nicely done by Freddy. But yeah, this wall off here by Splay Buzzer was actually decently done, although I think it would have been better further forward, because now Fredinhiovic is able to get on stone, and I think what he wants to do is just go for Castle H and a castle drop, probably right here, shoot down the tower, shoot down the town center, and then that's a very tough position to come back from for Splay Buzzer. But so far the game is pretty even. The villager number is slightly ahead for Fredinhiovic, but still nothing is lost for Splay Buzzer, who got the early aggression in, also denying the food from the pig underneath the town center, by the way. So that's another advantage that this tower gives him. But I think he's just lacking a little bit in terms of scouting, because Fredinhiovic is expanding to the side quite a bit, and only now Splay Buzzer is realizing that he's been heavily lamed. And this is not great for him, because he's on the way to the Castle H, whereas Fredinhiovic is not on the way yet, but he's not able to go for the stone. But instead he is delayed. But anyways, he is a little bit late anyways on stone, and now he just needs to abandon the shoreline and probably abandon the fishing ships as well, and just make do with Castle H. And I think he just needs to start collecting stone, because he will reach Castle H soon, and he has not collected anything yet. Freddy on the way to the Castle H as well, and he has more stone in the bank and also more stone here available. Also, he has a tower to deny the gold here, which is what we expected earlier, and now it's really looking dire for Splay Buzzer in terms of gold income. He does not have a single villager on gold as far as I can see. But yeah, if he gets enough stone and maybe gets a castle up himself, maybe right here or maybe here to get the gold back, then he could be okay. But still, in the long run, I think Fredinhiovic is in a better position. He also has the full water control now. He still has fishing ships, and Splay Buzzer just still has a few fishing ships, but he will just lose those. And overall, this means that Splay Buzzer in the worst position. Definitely now this villager outside of the range of the tower, not being shot down by the tower. So Freddy preparing some houses here to avoid a disastrous castle placement. However, there's always a possibility to place a castle, for instance, right here or right here. And that's exactly what Splay Buzzer is doing. He's just going for the castle, and also what he might do is just sell the stone for gold and not even go for gold himself. However, his economy is just incredibly weak. He has 0 on wood, 0 on food, 0 on gold, and just 15 on stone, and that will not be enough, because Fredinhiovic is also on the way, or has already reached Castle H, and now we have romantic castles, as Memp would say it, castles touching each other, and so this is gonna be a castle face off, and for that you need to have some food and gold. But Freddy is abandoning the castle. No way, he has to delete the castle. I thought he would just complete it. Yes, you lose some villages, but that's actually fine. But now he is kind of in shambles, although he still does have enough for a castle. But what is this castle here in the back? That's a chicken castle. Why not just batter through here and drop it right into the face of Splay Buzzer, who now has time to recover his economy. But of course, Fredinhiovic at the same time, he is consistently producing villagers, and this will be his win condition in the end. Just have a lot of villagers and just consistently do something with them. But now Splay Buzzer is placing another castle here. He wants to get his gold back, and maybe that's really what he needs to do. Just establish a very strong position here, get the gold back, and then just get some raiding in. And yeah, this is a very nicely done for Splay Buzzer. However, the one thing I don't like, as I mentioned before, is the lack of scouting, because look at this Fredinhiovic out here with 9 villagers who are just getting a lot of food, a lot of stone, a lot of extra resources. They can go for all the extra resources. In the end, Fredinhiovic might also build a town center over here. And so overall, I think Fredinhiovic still in the driver's seat if he doesn't panic too much, but his town center is being shot down, so he will lose his town center. And for now, Fredinhiovic does not have, well, okay, he did have enough for a town center. He's building it here right now as we expected, but there is still a lot of opportunities here for a Splay Brother. He could go for some Gebettos, to go for some raiding. I mean, look at all these juicy villages by Fredinhiovic. Imagine if you had just 2 Gebetto warriors. You can just come in here and kill all those villagers, or sit them right here and attack the lumberjacks. But I think that Splay Buzzer just does not have the resources. Yes, he has nothing in terms of resources. Now we have a tower here by Fredinhiovic, but I think this tower is maybe, oh well, it will get up, but I'm not sure if he will be able to wall it in time, and then Splay Buzzer can just batter it down with his own villagers, and that will be it for the tower. Well, I'm not so sure anymore. A lot of villages might actually be lost here for Splay Buzzer, because there's some very nice micromanagement there by Fredinhiovic, but now I think the Gebettos are coming, and the Gebettos will be able to kill a few villages. However, the first knight is out here for Fredinhiovic, and I think Splay Buzzer should just fight the knight here, my man. I think you can actually take it with some nice micromanagement, because the Gebettos have a lot of attack. So the starting town center of Fredinhiovic is down, so that's very nicely done here by Splay Buzzer, who is also now starting the raids. And the Gebetto raids, they can be so devastating. More villages being picked off, but don't run into the castle, just stay behind the wood line, just put them on stand ground right here. That is absolutely good enough. Fredinhiovic still has a town center, but he had to build that again. But in terms of villager numbers, it's looking dire for Splay Buzzer, and all of this is just the fish boom that is what Fredinhiovic is doing. He's just going for endless amounts of fishing ships, 3 docks queuing up fishing ships. This is just absolutely insane. Now the knights are running in, but I think this is a little bit ill-advised. Luckily for Fredinhiovic, the castles don't hit too much, although 1 knight is going down. Now we have some crossbowmen. Nice response to the Gebettos, but still there's so much raiding potential. If Splay Buzzer realizes this, he can come up here and attack the gold miners, or golders, as Lily Vanilli would put it, and yeah, cause some havoc here in the economy of Fredinhiovic, who is already saving up for Imperial Age, and I think that will be very hard for Splay Buzzer to deal with, because Fredinhiovic can just sit tight underneath this castle, go up to Imp, and then have some traps to get rid of these castles, and then it's gonna be really hard to win from there. But more nice raiding there from Splay Buzzer. I think he should just put those Gebettos on stand ground right here. That would be good enough, because Gebettos still have 5 range, so he will be able to deal a lot of damage. But Splay Buzzer expanding his economy very nicely. He is going back into booming mode, and he has built 2 more town centers, although this one is a little bit too close to the shoreline, as we can see. And the galleys actually find it and are able to attack it. However, Fredinhiovic doesn't really realize, and he is just going past the town center. Now we have a lot of crossbowmen out there, and I think the crossbowmen could be devastating to Splay Buzzer, who has nothing, who does not have anything in terms of military. He has 6 military units, but that's not going to be enough against the crossbowmen. So what Splay Buzzer really needs is siege, and he needs it fast. There were some breaks again. That's typical if you play with Splay Buzzer, because he has to take care of the kids. And so he usually stops, but oh, the crossbowmen are here, and Splay Buzzer doesn't realize, loses one villager, but only one villager. I think that's not even that bad, given the amount of crossbowmen coming in. And now we have 3 mangonels. That is crazy. 3 mangonels being produced there by Splay Buzzer, and oh, neither player realizing what's happening here. Splay Buzzer, oh god. But yeah, in the end I think it was still worth it for Fredinhiovic, because the town center doesn't kill anything. What the hell? The crossbowmen were right underneath the town center. Not, well, it was 1 kill. That is absolutely crazy. But now we have this combination of mangonels and gebettos, and this is very, very deadly. And I think this town center might actually fall, and then Fredinhiovic is, well, he still has a town center here, but in the end what might happen is that Fredinhiovic, okay, he is on the way to the Imperial Age, and he's not researching it in this town center, so he is actually fine. What is not fine is this aggression here from Fredinhiovic on Splay Buzzer's face, and I think instead of attacking with all 3 mangonels stacked up here, I think he should have just sent 1 down here to save his economy. But I think it's anyways too late, because Fredinhiovic will go up to the Imperial Age and then probably apply the finishing blow. Although this town center will get better down, but Fredinhiovic already spawned another one. He is like the Hydra. If you chop 1 head off, just 2 new heads will grow. But this is such a disaster here for Splay Buzzer, and I think this is what's costing him the game. You have these stray crossbowmen just running into the eco. Nothing is being done here. Now finally some garrison action here by Splay Buzzer, but it's just not enough. Also, this triple stack mangonel is kind of dangerous, because if there's an opponent mangonel, you can just take out the entire army here from Splay Buzzer. But now Freddy is in the next age, and I think we will see a trebuchet coming up here. More castles being dropped by Splay Buzzer, but I think Freddy doesn't need to care about this. He just needs his trebuchets, and then he can get rid of all of these castles in due time. Now we have the mangonels rolling down here. He should get rid of the blacksmith. Yeah, why not? That's actually very good. Now the knight is being made short work of, and I think Splay Buzzer doesn't realize that there is another town center here. That is unfortunate. And now we still have crossbowmen raiding here. This is just disastrous. It was just a lack of reaction from Splay Buzzer. He had 3 mangonels, but he just was too focused on the attack. He should have just sent 1 down here. Yes, Fredinhiovic is very good with this micromanagement, but at some point, if you have 2 mangonels here, you will kill the crossbowmen, and I think we can see that now. No, we cannot, because Splay Buzzer, okay, now we can see that. Very nicely done here. Another attack? No, just a little face off here, and I think these crossbowmen can have their nice target practice day against the mangonels. They can practice to hit the mangonels, because the mangonels just won't fight back. And at the same time, we have the trebuchets attacking the castles, and I think that's will be the steady demise of Splay Buzzer, who is still not realizing that his mangonels are not attacking. And I think these 2 crossbowmen, these hero crossbowmen, might kill the mangonels. No, in the end, Splay Buzzer realizes he was just toying with the crossbowmen. He gave them a sense of hope, but in the end, it was not to be. And all the crossbowmen have been cleared up in the end, but at what cost? There's no economy left here for Splay Buzzer. The first castle is down, the second castle will fall soon, and I don't see a way back into this game. And it's all because Fredinhiovic won water and then heavily boomed on water. It's just ridiculous. So many fishing ships. I mean, they become less and less efficient, but it's just enough. And yeah, we actually have a nice town center drop here by Splay Buzzer. So well done for him. But there's already another town center over here for Fredinhiovic, and nothing in the queue for Splay Buzzer. So I expect him to call the game soon. Although I think he wants to have one more go at it, one more try of booming back. But I think what he needs is actually some monks against the composition that Freddy is going for, which is crossbowmen and knights. If he had mangonels and monks, he could actually do something, although I don't believe that it's enough, because all the castles will fall. This castle will fall soon, just a few more hits, and there's the last one. And now we have this castle, which is the last castle standing here for Splay Buzzer, who is now getting rid of the palisade wall. So the lane is finally being cleared up, but it was quite effective, and still the gold is not accessible here for Splay Buzzer. His town center actually is enough to shoot down Freddy's town center, so nicely done by Splay Buzzer, who only has 4 villagers in here. Still, he wins the douche easily against the Saracen player. Nicely done. But I think overall it's just crushing. Splay Buzzer also now heavily housed because he lost all of his castles, and the castles support a lot of population, and all of that is just gone in an instant. He will also lose this town center, and yeah, he just needs to produce some houses. I'm not even sure if that he realizes that he only has a pop space of 45, which is just ridiculously low, and will be even lower soon as this town center falls. Yes, we're going back down to 45. But now there's an opportunity here, maybe for Splay Buzzer. No, the trebuchets do retreat, because if you kill the trebuchets, then suddenly this push by Fredinhiovic is being stopped, and that gives you some time to come back into this game. But we're at 55 population versus 120, but this could all change, but I think it won't be, because it's Arbalests versus Castle Age Mangonels, and also we have some Mamelukes. So I don't think this will change anymore in this game, and we're just waiting for Splay Buzzer to resign. And yeah, Freddy, even though he had 4 beers before this game, he is able to win convincingly on Nomad. Splay Buzzer really showing that he's not quite up to speed in terms of the strategies that are most efficient on Nomad. Also, he was slow to react to all of this laming, which is unsurprising. He didn't scout that much. Yeah, so I think he's just a little bit rusty on this map, or maybe the other players just overtook him in terms of strategy and just general knowledge about the map. But yeah, it's a slow push by Fredinhiovic. I think, as per usual, he's just a little bit too slow and cautious in these circumstances. He's like 3,000 score ahead, and he can just come in and give us some entertainment, because even if he loses all these Arbalests, it's at least a fun moment. Now the Mangonels are coming in. Nice attack round there on the Mamelukes, which are of course very strong against the Mangonels because of their melee damage. But I think it's unfortunate we won't see a big badaboom, or maybe we'll see one big badaboom. No, GG. And Splay Buzzer was just waiting for this moment, but the shots didn't even land here. And Fredinhiovic is the winner of game 3, and it's 2-1 for Fredinhiovic. So let's see if we will see a 3-1 or a 2-2. But if we look at the timeline, we can see that Fredinhiovic just was firmly in the driver's seat from the feudal age onwards, just booming away, just having more of everything, and Splay Buzzer was just never quite able to come back into this game. Alright, this was game 3 between Splay Buzzer and Fredinhiovic, and I'm really looking forward to casting game number 4.